I am you. I'm coming closer. I will catch you. The time it goes tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Are you afraid of the dark? Are you scared? I am you.
Hello everybody, how are y'all doing today? We've got a great Wednesday night in store for you. Hope y'all have had a great day. We've been definitely keeping busy here at the Turk compound, if we can call it that. But we have one sole purpose tonight, and that is to fact check the Linus Tech tips, Linus Media Group. If y'all are familiar with any kind of tech being put out on the YouTubes, you will have had to have heard of Linus before. That's right. Sorry. There we go, cool. Sorry. Had some stuff to deal with, sorry. Without further ado, let's get this show cracking. We're gonna have a great show tonight. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna enjoy it. So welcome to the channel. Hope you guys got your drink, got some popcorn with you, because we're gonna be sitting down for the long haul. That's why we're starting the stream a little early. I honestly have no clue what we're gonna come up against, but let's go ahead and throw it up on the stream real quick. We're in studio mode, so we are fair game to do our transitions and stuff. So I watch YouTube all the time. I hope you guys do too. YouTube is a very great video platform. And if you've ever heard of Linus Tech Tips, this should have come across your feed. It came out, I believe, yesterday, probably in the afternoon sometime, probably around noon or whatever. But Microsoft should be afraid. Noob's Guide to Linux Gaming. So we've got a couple of Linus's, guys here doing the stream or the video. A cool looking cat and a Morpheus knockoff.
That there's a way out.
They're both really smart, and I really like both of their content.
Legacy of Billy G.
It's a pretty good gag.
Why are you
here.
using that voice?
I can show you.
Oh, I'm actually playing
Sure,
the audio.
but
I thought I'd muted
I must
it.
warn you.
Anyways, let me post the DMCA stuff. This is not my content. I am using it under fair use, blah, blah, blah. Links are there for you if you're wanting to go check it out. But anyways, their claim, we're testing it tonight, is that a noob could easily install Linux on a machine, load it up with the right software, and play games on it. Like modern games, not just like Quake 2 or the open source. It's not even called Quake, it's some open source game. So I thought, hey, I've got a pretty decent computer. I think I can do the same thing. I am a Linux user myself. I love to do these kinds of things. So we're gonna put it to the test. We don't care about his ad spot. So we're gonna skip ahead and we're gonna talk about it. One thing I did find awkward in this video was their placement. They've got these two computers and they're sitting side by side, but they're sitting there reading the teleprompter. You'd think they would have either done the SNL approach where like their teleprompters are like slightly to the sides of their faces. Regardless. But they're just having a conversation. The guy on the right here is like, oh, I've never touched Linux before. I just want to write scripts all day. And the guy on the left's like, oh man, you can do Linux. It's the best thing in the world. So I am on the guy on the left's opinion as well. But we're going to try it out. So if you scroll down towards the bottom, clicking on the description items here, let me make sure. Yeah, I'm on the right scene. So here you'll notice that there's one of their ad sponsors, buying flash drives, and here's your two links you'll really want to do: getting Pop OS or checking out Manjaro. Let's click on the Pop OS, and we'll click on the Manjaro, just to give you guys a feel for what's out there, all that good stuff. Sorry, I'm doing some stuff here on the side, and we want to do a lyric. But then they kind of just like leave you at it. They don't give you any like guides. They just kind of throw you into the Linux games subreddit. So I found that kind of weird. But knowing what we know and how easy they say it is, we're going to walk through it tonight and hopefully end up playing some games on Steam. So let's take a look real quick at the Pop OS. Oh wow, we just won a raffle. Hi-yo. Thanks, Host Raffle, for the win. We're just starting our stream. I'm quite shocked. I don't think I've ever won Small Streamers Connect or a Host Raffle on the first try. But tonight we're installing Linux on our computer, and we're going to be as dumb as we can and show you that anyone can run Linux and play games, modern games, with their Linux setup. So here we go, going to System76.com. This is the company that developed the operating system. They also actually sell computers and stuff, which I thought was really cool. They're expensive computers. So you got an $1,100 computer here with up to 32 gigs of memory, your standard GPU kind of thing. But then you start to get into the big boys. You can get either a Threadripper or a Core X, Intel garbage. We don't do Intel here. It's all about the Ryzen CPUs, baby. Or you can buy their massive computer, which is essentially a server. But that's not what we're here for. We're here to look at their Pop OS. And it kind of looks like Pop Century. They might want to rebrand this as I drink my Walt Disney World branded drink. That's funny. Irony. But this is their Pop OS, and it instantly gives you their link to download. And then you can either download Intel or NVIDIA. So you'd click download Intel, and there you go. That's the ISO. That was easy. The NVIDIA ISO, just so you know, installs the proprietary NVIDIA driver. Being a dumb guy, I don't know what that means, so we're not going to worry about it. So that's how you get the Pop OS. We're not going to use that today. We're going to go with Manjaro, because I think in their video they say that Manjaro has Steam already in the ISO image. So I'm down with that. They also mentioned that Manjaro is better for advanced people or people that like to tinker with Linux and whatnot, or tinker. So I'm going to take that recommendation because I love to do that stuff, and I'm going to download Manjaro. So luckily, the Manjaro page, pretty, it looks pretty fancy. Choose edition and download. This is where it gets messy. And if you are truly a noob, don't do this. Because they tell you of all these different ways you can do it. You can do it through a virtual machine, you can run it from a USB stick, or you can install it from a stick. And then they give you all these buttons. It's like, holy cow. So beginner friendly, I guess when you click on these, it kind of sorts out the different interfaces you can choose. We can talk about what these interfaces actually are if y'all are curious. But we don't want a flagship. I guess you have to double click on the thingamajig to kind of unactivate the filter, right? So, let's see what's beginner friendly. We got Cinnamon, KDE, XFCE, Budgie, Deepin, or GNOME. So, like they say in the YouTube video, again, I posted the link URL in the chat. They mention, that Linux operates kind of like Android, and that you can install different launchers to load your operating system and all that. Kind of true. Android is a flavor of Linux. So, regardless, for our purposes today, we went with beginner friendly, and I'm not necessarily resource hungry or starved, so I don't really care about that. And flagship editions, I don't even know what that means. But what we did for our purposes today was downloading GNOME. And then you just go in here and click download GNOME. And it brings you to this weird page. You're just like, I don't want to click on any of this stuff because it's got questionable content. I don't trust some of this stuff. Regardless, we went ahead and clicked, or the download started on its own, so luckily you don't have to interface with this page much. I already downloaded the ISO, so I don't need to re-download it. But let's go and, I actually didn't create a scene with this. They also mention in the video you can use a program called Rufus, or you can use a program called Etcher. When I used the program Rufus, granted it was an outdated version of Rufus, it corrupted the boot installer, so I couldn't use it. I know it was the problem was because when I used Rufus, it gave me some error messages. But using Etcher, super easy. Let me see if I can do a screen share. Boop, 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 boop. I don't think I've created that scene yet. So what we'll do is this, cancel. We're gonna copy Chrome scene, or duplicate it. We'll call it desktop scene. I'm being so professional, right? And then we're going to remove Chrome window, and we're just gonna call it display capture, primary. Oh, good. This will be interesting. Well, we're gonna transition it, minimize this. There we go, cool. So we're back here, going into Etcher, etch. Where is it at? Elgato. Did I put it in downloads? That's really weird. Oh, there it is. It's called Balena Etcher. Never would have thought about that. Anyways, you run the application and it comes up with, sorry if I just like completely blew your brains there. That came out wrong. But it comes up with this. So you put in your USB drive, bloop, into your computer. You select the image. We picked Manjaro Cinnamon. You click open and then you hit flash. That's all you got to do. Super easy. Worked. So I'm super happy. My computer just fell asleep. You're not allowed to fall asleep tonight. You're going to be doing a lot of work over here, guy. Cool. So then I think we're all ready to go. We've got all the stuff that Linus told us to download, and I believe we're ready to rock and roll. So let's go over to, not the desktop scene, not that one. Capture full screen, boom. So this is this computer right here. This is our test subject. It is, let's pull up hardware info really quick. I really wanted to do this first to prove that it does in fact work. We're not just gonna be running into computer stability issues. Of course, I'm not running as the administrator. Technically, this is my kid's computer. So don't tell them about it. Don't tell them I'm flashing this over their computer. They might not be happy about it. So we're gonna run some hardware info. We're gonna grab the stats. I know them off the top of my head, but I want you guys to see it. And if you guys got any questions throughout the night, definitely let me know. Linux can be kind of challenging. It can be daunting as well. So if I'm going too fast, or if there's a question you've got specific to what you're trying to do, let me know, because Linux is awesome. I would run Linux natively if I could on all of my gaming rigs, and maybe this will push me over the edge. Lots of death references tonight. Jeez, what's wrong with me? Host me. There you go, cool. So here we go. You can tell that the CPU's fluctuating around. We got all of our power management stuff running. It looks to be 6 cores, and it's a 1600X. So it's not a bad CPU. It's running at boost clock of like 4.1, it appears. Base clock around 3.7. No, pretty powerful, pretty potent. 2400 DDR4. I think this is 2 8GB sticks. So 16 gigs of RAM, pretty decent. We are running a little warm, but this computer is, like right now, my gaming computer is significantly louder. So, you know, everything's running fine. We are running a Gigabyte AX370 Gaming 5, which is a really old motherboard. I'm thinking I'm gonna update this one once we get maybe some X570 boards in the house for testing. But for our purposes, works fine. And lastly, we're running an NVMe drive. This is a BPX 240 gig. This was recommended as a value drive by my Tom's Hardware partners in crime. So we're running that. I've also got a little 500 gig spinning disk. I probably won't use that tonight, but we'll see. And then last but not least, we're gonna be running an RX 580. I don't know if you can see the text on the screen or not. Main reasons for this, in the video, in Linus Tech Tips video, they actually mentioned that AMD has great open source drivers. In my past, with running with running AMD GPUs on Linux, I've had terrible luck with drivers. I'm running a more modern graphics card, and from my history and my reading the documentation, it sounds like as long as you're running current GPUs, their drivers are great. It's as soon as you start getting into the legacy hardware, the drivers suck. Because who wants to support hardware that's like ages old? So I just wanted to show you guys that this computer does in fact work. It's a pretty decent computer. You know, if you were going to be building a budget PC, these are all components you would probably want to use. So I think it's a pretty good use case of what Linus and his team were wanting to do. So with that said, we're going to start the shenanigans. We're going to restart this computer, and we're going to let the games begin. And in case y'all are curious, we're running the cheap $40 Amazon keyboard. It's RGB. Got it for $23. If y'all go and look at the highlights section in my, I don't get why that's green. Highlights section in my Twitch videos, you'll see my little quick review. I like it, not that bad. And I don't get why this is green, to be honest with you guys. But we're gonna go UFE Patriot Memory because that is where the drive is. So this is where the fun begins. This is where Linus's video kind of throws you into the water and says, figure it out. We've got lots of options here that if I'm a complete noob and I have no clue what I'm doing, I might be, oh hey, Phenom. I'll be lurking you, bro. I'll lurk you as well. I'm always down with the lurk for lurks. Gotta mute your, I gotta like, not mute it, but I gotta like turn it way, way down. I'll throw you in lurk team, that's what I'll do. I love lurk team. If you guys are interested in supporting your fellow streamers, throwing their names into lurk team, sometimes randomizing the names up, great way to show your support. So that'll refresh hopefully soon. If not, I hope it does. I'll probably check back here shortly. But we've got a really obnoxious green screen here, and it's typically black. It looks nice. I think it's probably something to do with my capture card. But anyways, so this first option here is your time zone, and I live in the America. And what's interesting is there's no Chicago option. Usually, if you're Central Time Zone, you click Chicago. There's Mexico City, I know that'll work. There's a New York. There's Puerto Rico. So it's like they kind of forget about America. But we're gonna be Mexico City. We're English language US. And now this is where it could get tricky and confusing if you're installing Manjaro. I will caveat all that. So if you go into the driver option, you've got free and non-free. Typically, when you're dealing with Linux, they can't legally bundle lots of different types of software into their packages because they've got licensing issues, they've got all sorts of other things to worry about. So what they do is they kind of just like separate out and say, I'm not really giving you the software, but I'm gonna give it to you if you ask me for it nicely. But for the sake of downloading and trying it out free, because I'm a noob and I don't know what I'm doing, I'm gonna go free. That's the default option. And then I can detect EFI bootloaders if you wanna do that, sure. But I think we're just gonna boot Manjaro x64 Cinnamon. It's gonna take a little while because it's loading all of the operating system stuff off of the USB onto system memory. I'm running a USB 3 card. See, look, there's black. And don't let this text scare you or freak you out. Most times when you're running a Linux distribution, this stuff doesn't show up if you're running like a desktop version. You can always click like F1 or F2 or Control F1, F2 to look at it, like if you're having like some boot instability issues or whatever. But for us, here we are. We're at the Manjaro home screen. So we can go to their wiki, we can jump into their support, we can, do all sorts of things. Just so y'all are aware, this is 1080p on a 4K monitor, so right now I'm not engaging any fancy 4K graphics. This is all just the standard HDMI output going into my capture card. So if you're wanting to muck around with Manjaro or Linux in general, you can go and click all this stuff. Look, they've got the Balena etcher. We used that just a moment ago. They've got Adobe user guide. Oh, that's a document for Manjaro for beginners. And then they just got a bunch of other stuff. We're not too worried about that tonight. If y'all want to learn more about it, you can let me know in the comment or in the chat. So there's a couple things. So if you go to the Manjaro, there's a bunch of different versions you can install. And one of those like skins. Remember how we were talking about Android launchers? One of them was just to go with Manjaro Architect. And that says, you know, hey, if you want to do everything from the ground up, do it all yourself, go with that. I think that's what that is. And I'm a noob, I don't want to deal with that. So we're just gonna go install Manjaro. I haven't done this yet. This is all new for me, new for us. All right, Manjaro Linux 18.0, Illyria installer. We're gonna be in English. There we go, we're in Chicago. We're using a US English keyboard. We want to erase the disk because we want to wipe everything off here. Now here's a problem. What is swap? There's an option for it, so should we do it? I would say yes, swap, no hibernate, because I don't want to hibernate this computer. I think hibernates when like they take all of system memory, put it onto the hard drive. That way it can go into a lower power state when you put it to sleep. And then when you get out, it'll pull it all off of your hard drive and it will repopulate your system memory. But I won't ever do that on this computer. I don't need it. I guess you could use no swap. You know, well, let's do that. That was the default option. I would personally do a swap partition on my disk, but Manjaro says we don't need it, so we're not going to do it. Oh, great. And the mouse wheel reselected the option for me. There we go. So right now, my NVMe, blah, blah, blah. So basically, it's going to wipe this huge disk right here, and it's going to throw it into a Manjaro ext4. Cool. If you like encrypting your data in case someone's gonna steal, or if you're gonna like resell a computer, you can always encrypt your data just in case. We're not gonna do that on this system. I'm not too worried about that. What name do you want to use to log in? We want to use Turk. We want to use Turk Linux PC. Choose a password. We're just gonna call it password. Actually, we don't want it to be too generic. I use one of my more generic passwords. Log in automatically without asking for a password. I'm not gonna click that. My kids like to steal my computers in the morning and they like to play games or watch YouTube videos on there. So we're not gonna do that. And then use the same password for the administrator account. Yeah, let's do that. So is there gonna be like a separate account? Yes. It's called root, assuming this creates a root. Because like if you do Ubuntu, they don't do root partitions and stuff. So there's that. Again, if you guys have any questions or anything, or if I'm going too fast during the setup, let me know. I imagine this might be pretty easy so far. Nothing has been entirely crazy. You know, the one thing we hit with Rufus, that might have been user induced. But let's go, let's install. Boom. Yes, install now. And there we go. We're installing onto our NVMe drive. I'm glad it detected the NVMe drive. I did not want to install it on my spinning disk drive because that's slow. I'm curious how fast it'll be. I imagine it's going to be a very fast install. I just won again. Oh no. Oh yeah, that's host raffle. Wow. Welcome back, guys. That is, what a day. I need to go buy a lottery ticket. Welcome back to the stream. We're still installing Linux. It's, man, wow. That's crazy. We're still installing Linux. It's hopefully not going to take too long. One thing that's really cool about Linux, that if you're not familiar with Linux, is it's very lightweight. We can go in here while the install is going, and we can kind of take a look around. Let's do that. So let's go to, we want to look for system information. Not install Manjaro. Preferences, there we go. General, nope, system info, there we go. And if you like the dark themed PCs, this is a pretty good mix. So we're using Cinnamon 4.0.9. I don't know if that's the recent or whatever. We are using the 4.19 kernel. It is the Manjaro edition of the Linux kernel, so I'm curious what they've tweaked with that. If you're not familiar with Linux, basically there's like this base set of code that interacts with both your computer firmware as well as some of your hardware drivers, and kind of makes resources available for higher levels of software to go and create your operating system. So as computers have gotten more complex, the kernel has also gotten more complex, and as bugs are found, security things get patched, and other nice things get introduced, they continue to update the kernel. So we're on 4.19 on this. I believe Ubuntu, if you're on the LTS, the long-term support, might be on 4.11 or 4.12. So this is pretty recent. So that's good. And they mentioned that in the Linus Tech Tips YouTube video as well. A lot of the reasons why gaming on Linux is easier now is the newer kernels support more stuff. So if you're trying to go the Ubuntu route because you're familiar with Ubuntu or you've heard good things about Ubuntu, they talk about it in the video too. Let's see if I can post that video really quick, because we're going to be referencing it quite a bit going forward. But yeah, so using the latest and greatest software, if you're going to go with Ubuntu, you do have to jump through a few more hoops. If you know command line, it's like 3 extra lines of code. It's not even lines of code, it's just like 3 more commands. Sudo apt-get update, sudo upgrade, sudo reboot. It's showing we've got most of our RAM, which is good. It's showing we've got our huge thing, and it's actually showing that we have a Radeon RX 580. So that shows that by default on the standard, what is this? Manjaro. On the standard Manjaro installer, it's able to load a decent graphics driver. So that's always good. Oh wow, we're all done. Here we go. Restart now. I don't want to do not pull out your USB drive. Honestly, it might even be best to leave it in, because sometimes when you do a reinstall, the computer knows what it just did sometimes, and it might even prompt you and say, hey, remove your drive, and then press enter, and then it'll go and do its boot thing. So knowing that, and I'm channeling my inner noob, my inner Linux noob. We're not going to touch the USB drive. We're not going to do it. But this is going pretty smooth. I don't know what it's doing. Monitoring of LVM2 mirror snapshots using or progress polling. I don't know what that means. Hopefully the computer knows what that means. If any of you guys on the stream are interested and are watching me not through Host Raffle, you can come view my channel to begin with. If you do ! giveaway, it'll print out in my chat the URL to my Gleam.io giveaway. I'm giving away an RX 2060 graphics card. It has been a phenomenal giveaway so far for me, and I'm wanting it to be good for you. So make sure y'all enter the giveaway, and that you follow me on my social media, my Twitter mainly. I don't want to throw too many links at you guys. Yeah, and see, look, it's showing the right colors now. That's weird. Sorry, I got distracted. It happens. But yeah, I'll be doing other types of giveaways all the time. Hoping you guys can, stay tuned with me on the Twitter, and hopefully I'll start posting some more videos to the YouTube. All right, cool. So it didn't boot from the USB drive. I'm gonna leave it in there. I'm gonna put in my password. Y'all can't see my keyboard. It's good. And here we are. We're in Manjaro. So the screen looks the same. We don't want to launch that at the start. That's annoying. So what do we do now? I think they said in Linus's video that Steam is already installed. So we click the menu. There's no Steam. So what do? Do we go to... As you can tell, I haven't gotten this far before. Let's see if they've got like an application manager, not applets. We want to do Manjaro user guide. Nope. Let's just look software. Add or remove software. How about software update? Let's see if there's updates. Oh wow, lots of updates. We are running Arch Linux. That's kind of cool. Ooh, a newer kernel is available. Oh, interesting. There's new core libs, dconf. I'm just looking through here because I'm curious what all is going on. There's a lot of files here. A lot of base level stuff as well. But if you're on, and to be honest, if you're from a Windows background and you look at the Windows updates, if you click on the links to the Windows updates, it'll tell you like, you're downloading software patch K9599898989, and then you can go in and research, what's in that update, and it could just be like a DLL's getting swapped, or there was a bogus vulnerability, blah blah blah. This is kind of like that, but like super detailed, and I don't know how old. Oh cool, it's going to install the Vulkan Mesa driver in case we want to run Vulkan. It's going to install libssh2, that's good. Linux firmware, that's that kernel firmware part I was talking about earlier. It's going to install Nano, that's a popular, programming terminal window. Samba, excellent. I've got a big Samba server, Samba share on my computer. Since I don't know what any of this stuff, hey, the nerdy dad, how's it going? No, I'm streaming on two boxes. I've got my stream capture box, and then I'm on my guinea pig. This is my kid's, my kid's computer. We're installing Manjaro. We were watching some. Okay, there's some dependencies. That's not good. So it's actually going to remove some things and install some things. I'm not doing anything funny here, guys. This is Linus Tech Tips said this would be easy, and we're trusting Linus to guide us in this path. So I clicked the download button. Yeah, exactly. This should be easy. And it has been. The install went pretty smooth. There was a couple curveballs. Let's think back. This happened more than 5 minutes ago. It's been a day. So there was a curveball. It asked you if you wanted to install your operating system in parallel with your old operating system, if you want to wipe your hard drive, or if you want to just reformat it. So, if you're not familiar with that stuff, you could get caught up, especially if you're like converting an older Windows box. Because once you start getting into dual boot, it gets kind of funny. We went ahead and opted for just erasing the drive. What else did we do? We did not select to encrypt our drives. It was not enabled by default. So this POP, what led to your choice? We went and downloaded POP. The reason I didn't do it was the Linus video said this has Steam already installed, and I don't have to jump through any hoops. So I'm like, okay, it's a bold claim. When we clicked on, maybe before you got on, Steam was not installed. So that's why we're doing the update right now. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, make sure they're not putting out any false claims. That's what they said in the video. It's on the internet. Yeah. That, and when I tried to install, where do my jump drive go? Those things always vanish, you know what I'm saying? Oh, it's still a machine. I don't want to touch it because it's doing an install. It might screw stuff up. I tried to use Rufus, which is another like USB drive writing software, and when I did it, it actually failed to write the grub bootloader. So when I tried to run the install, it's like, oh, grub rescue menu. It's like, well, shit, that didn't work. But Etcher worked fine. Etcher did pretty good. And Pop, it looked pretty cheesy to me. Do I still have the Pop window open? No, I've already closed it out. I can go look at it. Pop OS. Let's swap back over here. Desktop scene. Transition. There we go. I could have done Chrome window, whatever. But yeah, I mentioned that this kind of looks like Pop Century from Disney. And then that's the download button. There's no other details to what I'm getting. I have to scroll down past this robot who's holding the... It almost seems like too watered down. And I'm a fairly advanced Linux user. I'm not like a Linux admin at all, but you know, it just looks a little watered down for my taste. Ooh, Windows snapping. Shit, I should have... and I'll show you the Manjaro website too. Manjaro gives you... That's pretty cool. Manjaro actually gives you a bunch of other options to pick. So let's go to the download button. And if I let's assume warning, account service permissions differ on that. Okay, before we click that button, I want you guys to see it. Transition. All right, so this is our first warning box. It might not matter, but it's saying account services, this file system is bad. It might have been, yeah, it could have been. Your system is up to date. It's not even forcing me to reboot. Okay, we'll come back to the Manjaro stuff. All right, so Steam is not in there. Let's do a reboot real quick, just so we can consume the new kernel. Usually the new kernels and stuff get loaded pretty quick, depending on the breadth of the kernel update. So yeah, so before we get there, so you can run it, it tells you can run it in a virtual machine, you can run it from a DVD or USB, or you can install from the USB. But then they give you this big old block of options. And I'm not a guru, I don't know stuff about stuff. So, you know, you can click on these things and it helps filter things out. And it gives you kind of a brief description of what's good about it. I'm not a fan of KDE myself or XFCE. I have mixed feelings with GNOME. To be fair, Manjaro themselves say Steam is... Maybe I'm just not clicking it right. We'll check it out here in a second. So what I did is I went for resource friendly. No, I did beginner friendly. Yeah, I did beginner friendly. Sure, you might be able to. You might have to send it to me on a DM. I don't know if Nightbot's gonna strike you down. Yeah, damn Nightbot. Send me a DM real quick. Let's swap back over. That way our conversation can be in private. Twitch.tv. twitch.tv/this channel. In the meantime, we'll go ahead and log in. There's the nerdy dad. Manjaro GitHub user gamers. Thank you very much for the link. So before we take your link, this is a deviation from the Linus Tech Tips super easy stuff. Manjaro comes pre-installed with Steam, so there's no need to go to the website and download it. Installing drivers, updates, and more applications is handled through the package manager. We might have to go through there. Okay, so Steam. Due to the design of Linux, hardware like gamepads are recognized instantaneously. We can try that out. All right, cool. So it should be here. Steam. Oh, they did Budgie. We could do Budgie. Let me download that real quick. People who want a simple and elegant desktop. Okay, so that's... All right, so let's hop back over here. Oh no, we're still there. Okay, cool. So this is the Cinnamon page. You won't notice there's any Steam icon. And then if you go to the Budgie page, there's Steam. So that could be user error. I might be an idiot. It's not the first time. But you know, let's do a quick little easy thing. They say it's going to be easy, and let's say you accidentally installed the wrong version. Pretty legit, right? Let's see how easy it is to download Steam. So naturally, I would go to the old Firefox and go to steampowered.com. Or we could do their little application thingy, right? Software, okay. Steam. Okay. But I don't know what those mean. Native replacement for Steam runtime, Valve's digital delivery system. None of those look like Steam. What was the other piece for software with the other? I don't know. Hey, Scooby, what's going on, girl? My camera's starting to wig out. I thought I had that thing figured out. 24 film. Cool. You do Steam Manjaro? There you go. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not smart enough. We're going to go to Steam Powered. We're going to go install Steam. We're going to install Steam. We're going to open it with the default option. Okay. So what do I do from there? Not a problem for us. This is a Debian package, okay. Whoa. We're not in root. Are we? What? Data control.tar? Nope. Debian binary. Interesting. So what do we do here? Let's see if there's some instructions on the old Steam. Or let's go to our software manager maybe. Software, add or remove software. repositories, extra. Maybe it's in a new repository. So they talk about don't open, just launch. I did. Oh, I see what you're saying. I opened it with Firefox, so just launch it. There you go. So downloads. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to redo it. Yep. Go back. Install Steam. Install Steam. Save file. There you go. Open file. Nope. Go into downloads. Open. Oh man, it's not as easy as they say, is it? CD downloads. CD downloads. I think it's like dpkg sudo dpkg-i dpkg-i steam, right? Oh, I guess it's just apt install. Interesting. From the Manjaro repos. Yeah, man. See? This is not as easy as they say. The chat's gonna walk me through this, I guess. The Linus Tech Tippers or Tech Tubers are gonna help me out. So we gotta go through here. Steam. There's Smart, Snow, Solar. I'm getting close. STR. Nope. Community. Multilib. Yeah, we can just look through for Steam Manjaro. There you go. Choose. Dependency cycle detected. Lib harfbuzz will be installed before that. Okay, we kind of did this earlier. So this is going to install a bunch of stuff too. Commit. Password. Excellent. So we're going to go and do it the other way. One thing for y'all, Nerdy Dad had an excellent comment. In the YouTube video, they actually mentioned that they use the bougie. Is that how you say it? Budgie? Kind of sounds like spoogie. But they're using bougie, and on the bougie page, they show that they have Steam. So it could be selection specific. Would have been nice to know. Are we done? Is it installed? Let's check it out. Steam. There it is. Checking for updates. Cool. We're going. We're getting there. I will switch screens when we get to the old Steam username. That's a fair statement, Ozzy. I believe they mentioned that to an effect during the thing, but they made the recommendation. So we're just testing them out. That's a great question. I've never used Pop OS. Traditionally, I would pop up in my I'd pop open my Ubuntu stuff and just follow some go to linustechtics.com and follow the instructions. You think it's a great distro? That's good. Let's swap on over so I don't give away my secrets. You'll probably be able to find the secrets anyway once I get into Steam. And no, it'll show you my Steam username. I think that's my password. I might have updated it. All right, so I received an access code. Yeah, it's always fun to have some extra computer hardware just lying around. Let's make sure I'm not broadcasting. All right, cool. Of course, I do that a little late. It's always good to have some just extra computer parts lying around. Honestly, that's how this computer came to be. I had a spare RX 580 lying around. I had some, you know, non-RGB based stuff. Memory. I had a couple spare motherboards because I do motherboard reviews for Tom's Hardware. And that's where I got all my fun stuff. So cool, Steam is installed. So I think we will do Team Fortress 2. Team Fortress Classic. That's like the OG Team Fortress 2. Wow, we don't want to do that. I don't know, what game do y'all think we should download? Half-Life? Half-Life 2? That should be open, Valve approved. 6 megs, that sounded, or 6 gigs. Let's do it. An X79 build, nice. Just curious why you went with Manjaro. They are normally seen as an intermediate experience distribution. I am a somewhat experienced Linux guy myself. I can't answer why Linus and them mentioned it, honestly. It might have been better if they would have said like Pop! OS and Bungie Manjaro. Maybe it would have been a lot more straightforward that way. I run a bunch of web servers and stuff off of a Dell R710 underneath my bed in the guest bedroom. I host a Rust server, a Minecraft server, a bunch of other fun stuff. Oh yeah, I'm being dumb. Not everybody has access to a chat room full of Linux gurus. And y'all saw me out. I had the terminal open. I was typing commands, and I didn't have to go and look up a wiki page. Man, give me some cred. You know, I watch if config. Of course, ask me for a password. Oh, because it was /up. If config. Boom. What? Is it if config? What? Net? I'm so confused. I guess this is because this is Arch Linux, right? ls PCI grep VGA. There we go. That's our graphics card running Elsimir. That's a fun number. Thanks for the bits, man. Have a good day. Yeah, I typed in if config. If ifconfig. Yeah. If command not found. I wonder if they're using some other network manager. I find it hard to believe that ifconfig isn't you know, the default. That could be why. Am I plugged in? Which port am I plugged in? So I might have thrown a curveball into my little rig here, an unintentional curveball. I'm running a Gigabyte AX370 motherboard. It has a Killer. Killer's the brand from Real Networks that has some like enhanced networking management software built in. So it's entirely possible. Oh, did it download? Yes. Yes, here we go. Y'all ready for this? Playing some OG Half-Life 2. Let's see how good it runs. Options, video, resolution native, full screen, virtual reality. We're not doing none of that. And we've got it it didn't auto select everything is very high. Shadow detail high, color correction enabled, anti-aliasing, gotta bump that up. Antistropic filtering, gotta bump that up. We're gonna go ahead and turn on the VSync just in case. We're turning off motion blur, nobody needs that shit. Cool. Apply. We're there, guys. This is awesome. This is awesome. Let's go to root canal. Ooh, do I have all of them? Yeah. Let's do this one. Sand trap. Highway 117. That's a good mission. Sorry if y'all are like staring at the side of my head now. Oh, dude, look at that. That's perfect. Man. Look at that. That looks great. That looks great, guys. That looks pretty fan-freaking-tastic. Awesome. Cool. Well, we proved we can game on it. We don't want to save our game right there. So what other games should we give it a try? Half-Life 2, like, had to work because that's a Valve game with Steam, so it's, you know, it's got to work, right? Uh, 8 minutes, 59 seconds. Left 4 Dead 2, that's another game that should work straight out of the box. Team Fortress, same story. Rainbow Six Siege, do we think that'll work? Let's try it out. Welcome to in-home streaming. You're about to run this game on another computer and play it here using in-home streaming. We don't want that. Lurk for lurk, yeah, Alpha Barb, give me a second, dude. Alpha Barb, you were here the other day, I think. Hope you're having a good stream yourself, man. I got you on the old lurk list. It might take a few minutes to crank that up. Filter, games, Linux. Arma 3's Linux? Really? That'd be kind of cool. Cities and Skylines. How long? Ooh. Ain't nobody got time for that. Counter-Strike, Condition Zero, Global Offensive. But that's another Source game. I don't need to test another Source game. You can do Doom. 7. Wow. 2 hours. Nobody got time for that. I can play Rust. So let's put this to the test. So they say in the... damn it. Let's just see how long it takes. We might not play it. We'll try. But they say in the video that... They say in the video that some of the anti-cheat software, like the easy anti-cheat that is used by Rust, shouldn't work well. So we'll give that a shot. It's got a 13-minute download. That's not too bad. What else we got here? We need to follow some more instructions. So they also posted. Let's go back to the pop. We're done with the pop. We're done with the Manjo. There was another thing they say to install. It's the Wine gaming setup, like network, I think. I'll have to. I didn't think I was going to get this far in the stream. I didn't think it was going to work this well. So kudos to first off, the Linux community for getting such excellent support for native graphics drivers and video games in general. But also a shout out to Linus and his crew. He probably got a lot of help from Level 1 Gaming, I think, or Level 1 Techs. Well, I guess Level 1 Gaming is them too. But that's how they got a lot of their, Linux virtual machine stuff set up. So I think we've actually made it through about half the video.
Well, it's simple, really. I can say with confidence that it's the future of gaming.
That's a pretty bold claim.
Yeah, but there are huge companies backing it right now. Now you can play Steam games in Linux using Valve's Proton, and the number of games is growing by the day.
We haven't tried Proton yet.
As a result of that, NVIDIA has been focusing on Linux drivers almost as much as Windows. And you want to know the most important thing?
Hit me.
All right.
Google's game streaming service, Stadia, relies on Linux
I'm not
using
sold on
Vulkan.
Stadia, to be
Native Linux
honest.
versions of the most popular titles are all
Deepin, Pantheon,
Deepin, Pantheon.
Okay. Bougie. Budgie. We're trying to find the part of the video where he talks about wine stuff. There's the Steam, PPAs, we're not there. Oh, we don't want to build from source. No thanks. Pop OS. There we go, wine. Let's go download wine. We'll go back to the, what's it called? The software installer, add and remove software. And let's look for wine. I wonder if there's a wine Manjaro option. Switch back over to our big computer. Get our back chatty going up. So we got wine staging, wine 9. Let's just click on wine, because it'll install a bunch of other stuff. We're not going to do play on Linux. I've done play on Linux a little bit in the past. But for the sake of sticking with the Linus Tech Tips stuff, choose optional dependencies for wine. Let's do them all, because I don't know what I'm doing. We're just going to install them all. And we're going to do it. Password. Boop, 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 boop. Hey, you ninja, what's going on? We are installing Linux to play video games. And you never would have thought that Linux would be a great choice for playing video games. We just, we're watching a Linus Tech Tips video. Let me post the URL in chat, because I'm the boss of the server. I can post whatever I want. And we're in the process of installing Rust. We're going to test out the easy anti-cheat software capabilities of running under Linux. They say in the Linus Tech Tips video that running games with that can be problematic. So we're going to test it. Lutris, that's what we need. Lutris dot what? .net. Yep, cool. So we're on Debian, right? No, we're on Arch, so I'd need to do Pac-Man. Manjaro, yep, cool. Yeah, that's what we're trying it out. We're testing the waters. I actually run a Rust server in my server in the back room, so I've got a pretty stable, sanitary place to try it out. That's the goal, at least. But we're also going to go ahead and start doing this stuff in the parallel while we're installing. Oh, did I reinstall it? I guess so. Sudo pacman. Proceed with the installation. Yes. So we're installing Lutris right now. I've never used Lutris, and to be honest, I didn't pay too much attention to this part of the with Linus. So we're kind of testing it as we go. It looks like there's room in there for Uplay, different types of games. There's also, they're still scrolling through Steam and stuff. I don't play Overwatch much, But we can try and get it to run. Actually, I don't own Overwatch. That might be problematic. All right, so we got Lutris installed. Rust is still installing. So what do we do now? Go to Lutris, and now we just go to the games part and find a game we want to play. Does that sound about right? So I've got Skyrim. Is Skyrim on Steam? Excuse me. It'd be under Elder Scrolls Skyrim, right? Yeah, so Skyrim looks like it'd be a good candidate. So I can do the Steam Windows or Steam Proton version. This installer needs to be tested. Platinum installs and runs flawlessly. Y'all want to try out Skyrim as well? Let's just click install. Open link. I'm hoping I'm doing the right buttons. All right, it looks like the operating system's doing something. It's spinning its gears. That's good. That's not good that it's still spinning its gears. Oh, I forgot I had turned the music down. That's too loud. But I appreciate all you guys being on the stream tonight. Really awesome. Glad y'all are sticking with it. I know installing stuff can be kind of a drag, but I'm hoping it's paying off and we're all learning something in the process. What is this thing? So that's the Steam icon. That's funny. That's that package manager. Kernels. We don't need to change that. So let's see if we can find Skyrim. Do I have to go open wine, I guess? No? Lutris? Open link. That's weird. It's not downloading anything. It didn't run anything that I can tell. So where would it have... It's not on here. We're almost done with Rust. We're almost done downloading the Rust. My network is being on point today. I wonder if I have to find wine. 7:45. Games, there we go. DOSBox, Half-Life 2, there's Rust. So does Lutris just always launch the launcher? Okay. Maybe I should actually like read the documentation. Lutris uses what we refer to as runners. Runners are programs that the client can control and launch. Our most popular runners include RetroArch, DOSBox, Scum, Dolphin, and of course Wine. That guy needs a haircut. So I'm curious if I have to, with Steam, so Rust is finished. So what we'll do, we'll go to Games, we'll download Elder Scrolls Skyrim. It's gonna try and do that, dang. Install game. Invalid platform. Well, we'll figure it out later. Quake 2, let's play Rust. Let's see if it works. We're gonna play Beautiful. Let's go for it. It's open. Holy cow. This is awesome. Perfect, and it sees my server. If you guys are ever wanting to play Rust, y'all can hop on to Vanilla the Turk solo duo server. This is located in my guest bedroom underneath our little queen mattress, queen box set. Very cool, very cool. Make sure I'm still streaming that. I'm looking at inappropriate things in the background, i.e. my Twitter. Y'all can also see stuff I've posted to my Twitter down below in the comments section or the panels section. Ooh. Giada De Laurentiis. Beautiful lady. All right, here we go. We're almost in. This is excellent. Did the light flicker or did I just blink? That was weird. All right, moment of truth. Here we go. Come on, baby. What do y'all think? Is this pretty cool? Is this all old news for you guys? Oh my god. That was weird. I got some pretty bad artifacting going into it. Compute shader internal skinning property at kernel index 11 is not set. So, oof. That looks pretty rough. Is that the graphics driver or is that the... It's not the server. It works fine on Windows. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it the driver or maybe my graphics settings? I need to turn off some stuff. Graphics. Let's turn the quality down a little bit. Can I turn the quality down? Did I just freeze the game? Maybe. I thought so of a driver issue as well. I did select in the Manjaro install the free drivers. It's entirely possible. Ooh, game crashed. It's entirely possible I need to pick up the proprietary drivers. So we could say Rust could work if we tweaked it a little bit. Still don't know how to do the Elder Scrolls. It's got the launchers and stuff, but I need to download it. Edit installer, fork installer, download install script. I don't know, Imbode, have you ever run Skyrim on the Linux? I wonder if Civ 6's. God, that's a huge file too. I am asking a lot, asking a lot for Quick Champions. That's a pretty small game. It's in-home streaming. You don't play Skyrim, bugger. We're not going to do PUBG. It's going to take a while. It's not supported on Linux. I wonder if Metro Last Light's installable. Yeah, you can play Metro. Let's try it out. But I will say, I think we've kind of accomplished what we're trying to do with our little fact-checking experiment with Linus. For the most part, the information they gave us is good. Through kind of like tinkering with their procedures, I would recommend using Etcher for writing your boot media or creating your boot media. We did hit a instance with the Rufus where it actually didn't load the proper grub bootloader, so it wasn't able to actually install this operating system. Which, you know, for me, a minor thing, because I know how to get around that kind of stuff. And then from an operating system perspective, it would have been better to clearly define that they used the Budgie Manjaro install as opposed to Cinnamon. Cinnamon is clearly not a good choice. And we've got some good information from chat saying pop is much more stable and a lot easier to set up. So maybe running with pop is a better choice. Your mileage may vary. But the install went smooth. It went without a hitch. It detected all my hardware, detected my graphics card, and once we got Steam installed by looking up in the package repository for add remove software, installing Steam-Manjaro ran flawless, and then we were able to run Half-Life 2 without a hitch. So I think we checked off a bulk of what they claimed in the video, and we could say that yes, it does in fact match what they say. So for a new user, always go to Ubuntu based. Not only is the system designed with it in mind, but you will find a plethora of help in the forums. That is also backed up by the Turks' anecdotal evidence, as well as stuff they mentioned in the video. Less driver issues. I am always a fan of less driver issues. I'm not planning on switching over to this computer full time. I've got plenty of other hardware. I thought this was a pretty good experiment just to try out, see what happens. But this computer, it still lives. It's still completely practical for any everyday use. And I'm going to tinker around with the Lutris. I have a feeling that I'm skipping a step, like installing the game. And, I'm hoping that it should be pretty easy to pick it up. Because to be honest, most of the packages and stuff that were involved in the install have been flawless. Steam itself is working as designed. It does tell you what games it can and cannot play. And, if we go and learn more about Lutris, we probably could play some of the other cool games. So, overall, I'd give it like an A-. Is a pretty good score. I think they did a good job with the video. And then, if you guys are ever interested in doing any Linux-based gaming, feel free to experiment. I think the level of entry is significantly lower than it used to be. And if you're wanting to do a pretty simple run-through, install pop and go. That might even be my recommendation. We might be able to do it another day. Did I download pop? Yeah, I downloaded pop. I might stream again tonight. I might reinstall Pop OS onto this machine. I think my kids are about to come home from being at church for Wednesday night church stuff, kids choir and all that stuff. So I'll be needed to help put them to bed and all that. But awesome, I gotta say, thumbs up to Linus Tech Tips. Y'all did a good job documenting your procedure. And thumbs up to the Linux community. You guys are pumping out some good software, good compatibility. Your different versions of your software are running pretty well. I tried gaming on an AMD graphics card 5 years ago, and it was a nightmare. Like getting Half-Life 2 to run, it was simple. I gotta say, it was very little sweat. But I think for now, guys, I'm going to go ahead and log off. My camera's starting to wig out, which is really upsetting me. And I'm going to read a little bit more about Lutris, see if we can get some other games running. And, awesome. Osrez, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Anyone else on chat, if you do exclamation point giveaway, you'll see a link to my Gleam.io giveaway for an RTX 2060. It could be yours. You can't win if you don't enter. Mainly just follow me here on Twitter and Twitch, and hopefully you guys enjoy watching alternative tech tubers, or am I a tech twitcher? Twitch techer? I don't know what the technical term is. But that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be streaming from QuakeCon later this year. I'll also be streaming from DreamHack Dallas. That's going to be pretty fun. That's coming up in a couple months. And I'll also be doing live streaming from the expo floor. So if y'all are into that kind of stuff, definitely, you don't have to subscribe, but definitely follow me on the old Twitch, follow me on Twitter. That way you know where to find me. Kiddos are here. I got to go. Thank y'all very much. Let me post a Linux video, Linus video real quick, just in case y'all are curious. All right, thank you guys. Have a great night. I might be back on in about 30 minutes or so. We'll have to see what the wife and kids say. Cheers. Bye-bye. I'm not Markiplier.